What is good? It is your boy PvbloGrey. We are back with another reaction video. And as you can see, we got this set up different. We're gonna try this out, man. I haven't done green screen in a while, so this is gonna be something new for the channel, at least from what y'all can see. But yeah. So we're gonna see how we like this. But before we get into the video, you like what I'm doing here, man? Like, comment, subscribe. But title of the video: Trump supporters gathered for the million MAGA March. If you don't know why this is significant, is because the million MAGA March is trying to replicate the Million Man March. And if you don't know what that is, go do your research. It was done by a very great man. It was led by a very great man. So go do your research on that. But yeah, man, let's get into it.
Supporters have gathered for demonstrations at Freedom Plaza. Billed as the Million MAGA March, several supporters are scheduled to rally against the election being over and the projected Biden-Harris win. I want to bring in CBS national correspondent Errol Barnett, who is near the rally. Errol, good to see you. Show us what's going on where you are.
Well, Lana, these around me are some of the president's most passionate supporters. This event in Freedom Plaza is billed as one to support President Trump, organized in just the past week as a way of showing force in the wake of his election loss. Now, I can see a few thousand people here. You can see everybody with their flags visiting from places like...
Let me pause that. Okay, let me fix my setup. Cool. I want to be able to relax and still be close in the camera. But let's see what he just said.
His election loss. Now, I can see a few around me are some of the president's most passionate supporters. This event in Freedom Plaza is billed as one to support President Trump, organized in just the past week as a way of showing force in the wake of his election loss. Now, I can see a few thousand...
Y'all see how he just declared that shit a loss? That's not true. There's technically no loser nor winner. Stop letting these people tell you this shit. This is what the news is trying to do. Please understand this. This is what they're trying to do.
Thousand people here. You can see everybody with their flags visiting from places like Tennessee, West Virginia, Maryland, and they're here because they're upset with the projection that Joe Biden will be the next president. I spoke with one of the organizers of this event as I tried to share with her the confirmed information from the Trump administration that the election was in fact secure, and she refused to accept it. And in fact, many of the people here...
Y'all see that? She was digging out a wedgie. Ooh, look at that. She was digging out a wedgie. We saw you, girl.
From the Trump administration that the election was in fact secure, and she refused to accept it. And in fact, many of the people here have had social media pages taken down because they're supporting things like Stop the Count, stop the counting of legally cast ballots. And they're very upset that their pages have been taken down.
Let me pause that right there. You see what he just said? They're trying to tell them, he's saying that the reason they're out there is to tell people to stop the count of legally casted ballots. That is incorrect. That is not why these people are out there. These people are out there to stop the counting of illegal ballots. Because there's a lot of election fraud going on, if you don't know. And I'm not no Trump supporter, because Trump supporters do this shit. They willing to die for a person. Or for this one man. They willing to gather in big crowds and go to war for a person. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it for no one that ain't blood related to me. That is what it is. If we're not blood related, I'm not dying for you. Simple as that. I do like Trump, but I'm not a Trump supporter. I can't do this shit. But as you can see, these people really about that life.
So around me, you're seeing some of the supporters. I can tell you that I've seen a group known as the Proud Boys, other white nationalist groups and extremist groups that are expected to be here as well and have been promoting their participation online. The event is only a few hours long. There have not been any major clashes yet, but they still plan to march from here in Freedom Plaza to the Supreme Court. The overall message: they do not accept the election results as they've been projected by the major networks, including CBS.
Again, listen to the fucking wordplay. As they've been projected meaning not set in stone, not actually what it is. Understand, the only person who elects the president is the electoral college and the legal system, not the fucking news who says this is the winner. They're going off what someone has told them. Just remember that shit. It is until, I believe, December 14th. Go watch Dan Calloway's page. I'm just here to make you think. Go search that in YouTube. But December 14th is when the Electoral College actually starts their real voting and cast their vote for the actual president. We'll know then.
Errol, these are very large crowds from what we're seeing. And you mentioned the Proud Boys, that, of course, being the group that President Trump was asked to denounce in a question about white supremacy, have been promoting this event, that they're involved. I'm hoping you can tell us a little bit more about that. And have we heard anything from President Trump?
President Trump, this morning, before he made a drive to play golf, went past this crowd and was beaming. He was smiling. And you can see a few hundred of them running up to the president's motorcade to cheer and show their support. So this is certainly a group that this morning received a bit of emotional validation from the president and for their message. The fear, though, is that there may be counter-protest groups that will also voice their opinions here today as well. We've seen a few small scuffles, and that's why D.C. police have encouraged people to not...
Listen, if y'all really don't know what's going on, as far as what the Trump supporters believe, they believe that this election shit was rigged and fucked up, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I believe it was. I paid attention to it while it was happening. Anyone who can put their ego aside, and their hatred aside for this man could really understand and just think back to when this went down. You know some fishy shit was happening. You can't tell me you ain't seen no fishy shit happening. Overnight, Biden just run up the fucking numbers. Not only that, we tried to tell me he got more votes than President Obama. He's more popular than President Obama. Y'all niggas tripping. Just some fraud shit. They doing whatever they can to get that man in there. That, y'all, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. It's the truth.
Bring weapons to this event. In Washington, D.C., you can conceal and carry, but only with a permit. The police are imploring people here not to bring weapons. But you can hear how emotional people here get. I can tell you that they're telling us to tell the truth. A woman here is yelling at me saying, we, the media, are the problem. And so you get a sense of just how emotionally volatile this group can be.
Certainly does seem emotional and heated. You mentioned concerns about violence and rules concerning weapons. What are law enforcement officials doing to try and mitigate any potential for those scuffles getting out of hand? And Errol, I'm wondering if you can tell us anything more about what it feels like being in a crowd that is emotionally heated and yelling at you that you are part of the problem.
Sure, well, you know.
Why would he be considered the problem? Maybe because he represents a fucking corrupt news organization such as CBS. And if y'all don't know, all the news broadcast networks in the United States, every single one of them, are controlled by 6 entities. Go do your research. I'm pretty sure Sony's one of them. Warner is one of them. There's others. Go look.
For us, it's just part of the job, but I can tell you that we have had to hire 2 security members to be with us as we move through these crowds. You can see I'm wearing a mask, and the pandemic has only worsened across the country. But as you look at the crowd around me, there are...
See, as soon as he said that, just take a look. She got a mask. He got a mask. This person right here got a mask. Let's rewind this back a little bit. Right before he said something about them not having a mask.
And the pandemic has only worsened across the country. But as you look at the crowd...
Person with a mask right here.
has only worsened across the country. But as you look at the crowd around me, there are very few people wearing masks. There is almost no social distancing here. So it's just one representation of how some people around the country feel and believe what President Trump has been saying. The question I've asked them is, will you accept the results? Will you accept a potential Trump loss if and when it is confirmed? And the organizers of this event say they don't think they have to just yet. So it's important for us to show this to you and to share with the world what's happening in Washington today.
And listen to what he just said. The protesters said they don't think they have to accept that just yet. Why would they say such a thing? Because legally they don't have to right now. Because it's not set in stone. It pays to know the law. What are you going to tell the officer when he pulls you over? And you just going to tell him, I didn't know I couldn't go this fast. That shit doesn't work. At least not for us. You can't do that shit. Know the fucking law. Before you start getting happy about this shit. Go do some research. See what happened in 2000. See how that shit worked out. This the end of the video. As far as this being said, man, please pay attention to these news clips. You're gonna realize that there's not really any news station right now in favor of Trump. No one's really fucking with this man right now. They want this man out of here. They saying whatever they can to get him out. So pay attention to it. Pay attention to the bias that just happening in the news right now. This shit wild. But you like what I'm doing here, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, man, I got merch. You can pre-order this before Black Friday. You can get hoodies for $25, hats for $14. If you get a hoodie, you can get the hats for $7. And you can go pre-order on my site, or you could just DM me personally on any of my social media. So yeah, do that. Like, comment, subscribe. Pablo out.